The NFT and crypto markets are on an absolute tear, with gaming projects leading the charge. As token-backed NFTs saw a ton of price action over the weekend, we're also in for an exciting day of mints as well as a game launching on the Epic Games Store. We're going to talk about all of that and more. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Crypto Gorilla video. As usual, nothing in this video is financial advice, and if you haven't already done so, would you kindly hit that subscribe button? So pretty much every NFT that has a token attached to it or speculation of a token pumped over the weekend, and I'm not saying every project you see on this list is going to have a token. This is just the things that I've been tracking in the gaming sector, but the real winners over the weekend were Grapes, which pumped all the way up to 3.8, and we had Block Games go to 0.9 and Raw Pass go to 0.4. However, they have crashed quite significantly, with Grapes down to 2.6. And it really is just funny to see the correlation between these three collections, even though they have nothing to do with each other. Whenever Grapes goes up, Block Game follows and Raw Pass follows. Now, these crazy prices do make me wonder, how much do people think they're going to get airdropped here? Because while we don't have the tokenomics for Grapes, I have seen the tokenomics for Block Games, as they're currently doing a private raise. I've seen two different pitch decks. One of them says 5% airdropped, one of them says 3%. Let's just go with 5% to be generous. At their 60 million fully diluted market cap for their public raise, divided by 5,555, the number of NFTs that they have, that is roughly $325 per NFT. Now, obviously, we expect the price to go up from here. It's not going to stay at that low market cap. However, if we compare it to something like ZTX, which currently has a fully diluted market cap of 175 million, that is roughly $1,000 or 0.5 Ethereum airdropped to each NFT for Block Games. So right now, they are very well priced at 0.64 Ethereum. Now, if you think it's going to absolutely moon and do something like meme coin, where it goes above 2 billion fully diluted market cap, then yeah, you're going to make $11,000 per NFT, wag me, and the market's going to pump. So people really need to ask themselves where they think these tokens are going to go. However, for the time being, before any of these tokens drop, it really doesn't matter. All that matters is narrative. And as long as the meta continues, these prices are going to continue to pump. Now, I view two different ways of looking at this. One, you could buy these NFTs and you can hold it for the airdrop and just hope that the airdrop gives you gen wealth. But the other way is just to play the narrative, buy in on a dip and sell it when it pumps. But I do worry that if one of these projects, the main one being Grapes, if they fail to deliver, it's going to completely crush this meta, and we're going to see a lot of these prices get seriously hit, which would be really bad because I'm pretty sure most of us own some of these NFTs. Now, a few more from this list that saw some great price action over the weekend. The first one being Weebox, or FranTokyo. I've spoken about this one many times on this channel, as I was talking about it when it was sub 0.1, and it did manage to go all the way up to 0.55. I personally hold many of these. I had more than 10 at one point. I currently believe I have 8, as my original price target was 0.4. So when we hit that, I took some profits, and now I'm pretty much holding the rest of my bag for absolutely free. But with the market performing the way that it is, I have moved my price target to 0.8 for this collection. Now, hitting that is going to depend on a few things. As I mentioned, the meta for these token-backed NFTs continuing, when they plan to start marketing for their token, because they really haven't tweeted anything about their token yet, and their upcoming PFP drop, since this collection does get you one free claim as well as one whitelist for their PFP, for which we haven't even seen the art yet. Now, if the doomsday scenario that I mentioned, where Grapes or one of these collections really under delivers, mainly Grapes, I just don't want to pick on Grapes, I really hope they do well, but if Grapes under delivers, I think a lot of these collections do go down in price, but I don't think FranTokyo would suffer as much, since they have so much coming, and I feel it's separate from some of these other ones. I feel like Block Games and Raw Pass would suffer a lot more if Grapes under delivers compared to something like FranTokyo or even Mataria. Now, another collection that I've been accumulating is Shrapnel. As recently, I did a spaces with them and Ash, and they hinted that the operators are potentially going to get a third token airdrop, as well as their extraction packs potentially getting exposure to the token in some unknown way. They didn't say airdrop or anything like that, but this made me bullish because personally I have purchased an extraction pack, and I've also been accumulating accumulating their NFTs. Now, I also went ahead and purchased some Shrap tokens. I did this roughly 2 weeks ago to front run the Alex Becker video because I knew he was going to talk about AVAX projects. And to me, it was a no-brainer that he was going to bring up Shrapnel as well as things like Beam. And I know he says we shouldn't do this and it's dumb, but whenever he makes a video, he pumps the market. Now, if you're wondering what his next moves are, he's apparently going to be making a video on GambleFi. So people, including myself, have been trying to front run the market on this. So a few that I went ahead and purchased are Rollbit, which it has a very large market cap already. I don't think he can solo move this thing, but it is, in my opinion, not financial advice, it is a good buy for the upcoming bull run. It is the strongest gambling token that we have in Web3. I also went ahead and purchased some Dubs, which is esports gambling. So it hits both the gaming sector as well as the gambling sector. I bought some blockchain bets, which apparently he purchased 3 days ago. I also got some decentralized games, but these ones are very low market caps. So it is kind of a high risk. I can get dumped on and I'll be fine with that. I assume he's also going to talk about things like D-Race, which in my opinion is outdated, but he did talk about it in his video like 3 videos ago. And he also mentioned Photo Finish, which is a Solana token that is partnered with the Kentucky Derby. I don't own either of those, but I'm just bringing them up because I do think there's a good chance that he mentions them. But all this is pure speculation. I have no idea if he's actually going to even make this video or talk about these tokens. So back to Shrapnel. Now, my theory with Shrapnel is that moving into their game launching on the Epic Game Store, it's going to be limited access, but it's still going to have a ton of marketing around it. Moving into that, we can see some great price action. But even after it launches, if people like the game and a lot of people are talking about it and playing it, it's going to bring a ton of attention to these collections. And I'm hoping it can pull a parallel where Parallel has done like a 2.5x on their token in the last 30 days. And their avatars went from 0.51 all the way to 0.85 ETH before seeing a slight retrace. Now, I'm also keeping an eye on Illuvium, which is launching today on the Epic Game Store, their PvP mode. I also think it's limited access, but I have heard really great things about this game. So I'm going to be checking out their token and how it performs post-launch on the secondary market. I want to see, is it just buy the rumors, sell the news, because it has pumped 100% over the last 30 days. Or as more and more people play this, as more people stream it, is the token going to see positive price action? Now, another collection that I have been accumulating in the gaming sector for NFTs is my Pet Hooligan. They held incredibly strong throughout the bear market. They were basically a stable coin, but their token is dropping, I believe, in Q1 of next year. And they're a very well-known brand in Web3. Their team is awesome. They've been working hard for years. So I imagine this is going to get a ton of attention and it's going to drive some FOMO. Now, my move here was purchasing 3 Hoolies, which I have staked because as you stake them, you can earn, it's not the live on-chain token, but you're still earning S carrots, which is going to give you a larger airdrop than everybody else, because if you've never staked, you still get an airdrop, but if you're staking, you're going to get a better airdrop. And I'm not telling you to go buy these. Okay, if you pump these like above 1 ETH, I will dump on you. But if you go on OpenSea, you are able to filter by S carrots and see if there's any on the floor that have accumulated a lot of carrots. That's what I did. I got 3 that were very close to the floor that had more than 3,500 S carrots, and I purchased them for less than they are now because they have seen a slight pump. But the other move, if you're just in it for a trade, because the Hoolies, they're at 0.76 right now, that's pretty high. If you just want a trade, I think the better play here is the Zuck bots. The downside is that it's a 12K supply, so there's a lot of them available for people to dump. However, these have been really stable. They're currently under 0.03. I started talking about them when they were sub 0.02, and I have been accumulating these. I think I have over 20 right now, and to me the downside is really low. The downside is you lose 0.01, like you lose 50%, but the upside, these can easily hit a 2 to 4x in my opinion, especially as they introduce staking for the Zuck bots, and you don't even need them to confirm a token. You just need people to speculate about a token, and then these can just pump. Now keep in mind, like I said, the token isn't until next year, so this isn't a play that's going to pump in the next 2 weeks. This is like a 2-month play. Now, another collection I feel doesn't get as much recognition because it's not on Blur, and at least for me, I always just go to Blur to track all my collections, is Pluto, which is a Polygon collection. Now, these are up 5.5x from their mint price, which was 99 Matic. They did hit 750 Matic, which sounds like a lot, but when you convert it to ETH, that's still sub 0.3, and a lot of these token-backed collections are way higher than that. And considering that their token airdrop is going to be a token that is directly backed backed by Polygon, I had no problem sweeping a ton of these when the prices were lower. Now, from day one, I have been saying that my target is 1,000 Matic minimum. That is still my target. I have not sold a single one. I only did a giveaway for one. But the bonus here is I view these as hitting two birds with one stone if you want to trade these, because there is the Dew marketplace, which is a Polygon marketplace, and they're going to be having a token airdrop happening in 2024. So if you're able to accumulate points, they recently introduced bidding. You're able to get points similar to Blur. You can make points by trading Plutos, and then you have exposure to Pluto, but you also have exposure to the Dew airdrop. Now, I do hope this plays out similar to what happened on Hyperspace, which is an AVAX marketplace where people were just trading collections in order to accumulate points. And one of the collections that benefited the most from this was Dokio, which is, let's call it the main PFP on AVAX. I did mention this one months ago when they were minting. We did get some whitelist spots in my community for it. I personally had 5 of these, and I'm happy to see that the price performed very well. These minted for 8.88 AVAX, and they went all the way up to like 50 AVAX floor. But the main thing I'm pointing out is people were trading this because it's a collection that they trusted. And I hope the same thing happens on Dew with Pluto, as Pluto is one of their partnered collection where you're able to earn more points if you trade it. Now, if you do want to earn points on Dew, you are going to have to mint a Dew name, which it's not, I think it's like $10 or something. So it's not bad. But if you don't have that name, you're not going to be able to accumulate those points. As for mints happening today, we have 2 gaming mints. The first one is AOFverse. This one is quite hyped. It's a free mint. They already have a game that's available to play, and it is really fun. It plays very well. And I do think this one is going to be a cook. I don't have whitelist myself. I gave all my spots away to my community. However, I will be looking to trade these on the secondary market unless they open at like a stupid floor price. Now, by the time you watch this, they're probably already going to have minted, so you'll be able to see what's happening live. But some of the utilities during my space with Ash and the AOFverse collection, Coco joined us, and they did leak that you are going to get an airdrop if you hold this NFT. And although there is no confirmation, I asked the team about this. They said they don't know who's spreading these rumors. I saw this tweet going around here, Ghost tweeted it, showing that on December 6th, there's going to be a token airdrop, and they will be airdropping $1 million to their holders. And with only 2,222 NFTs, that is $450 per NFT at the lowest possible market cap. So if this pulls a 2, 3, 4x on the secondary market, the token, I mean, that could be 1 ETH directly to your wallet for a free mint. So like I said, no confirmation if any of this is true, but that really doesn't matter. All that matters is how quick these rumors spread and what the narrative is. Now, the second drop also happening at the exact same time as AOFverse is Vendetta Games. This one is backed by Vulcan Forge. It is also a low supply, much lower than AOFverse. It's going to be a free mint. You're also going to get a token airdrop by holding this, and it is quite hyped, but it's sad to see these 2 mints at the same time because this is an attention economy, and they're going to be fighting not only for our attention, but for our dollars. So I'm sure most people are going to be watching both of these, but it is going to be a battle between the two, and it's going to be interesting to see the price action play out between both of them. Now, next up, we saw the marketing campaign for Portal begin, where they are encouraging people to interact with their tweets or tweet their own stuff in order to accumulate points, which is going to give them a token airdrop in the near future. Now, this is very similar to Tipcoin. You have to get a lot of views, like retweets, replies, and quote tweets. So this does favor accounts that are able to get a ton of engagement, but I do think it is worth doing, especially since there's no cost to it. And when you look at Tipcoin, people were able to make a ton of money. I myself made 1 ETH just for putting out 5 different tweets. So I do see this getting a lot of traction, especially since it's free. Now, before ending the video, I did want to take a look at Ordinals, as they have been performing incredibly well. If we look at this OMB collection, which is pretty much the main collection, at least in my opinion, on Ordinals, it is sitting at a staggering 0.55 Bitcoin, which is over $20,000. I remember NFT Boy was telling me to buy these at 0.16 Bitcoin. Obviously I didn't. I faded Gen Wealth, and now they're at over half a Bitcoin. And we have other collections, but it's great to see Ordinals performing well. We also see Bitcoin Frogs sitting at 0.128 Bitcoin. So I'm happy that the whole Ordinals are dead narrative was disproved. And now we're starting to see some hyped collections coming up. The main one being Node Monkeys. They're doing this different. It's a 10K collection. It's a free mint. However, they aren't doing regular whitelist distribution. They did tweet this out that if founders want whitelists for their communities, they're going to have to commit to making a donation. So a ton of people are getting together. They're sending them emails promising to donate a certain amount of funds to a charity. I'm hearing people are donating up to $400 per whitelist spot. So for a 10K collection, that is a free mint. $400 already tells you that people think these are going to perform very well on the secondary market. In my community alone, we have committed to donating $25,000 to a charity. We don't know what charity yet. They haven't replied to us. We haven't gotten the charity list, but I do think this is a fun, unique idea where you get people to donate to charities and actually do something good, as opposed to the team being able to make a ton of money, especially with the amount of hype that they've garnered. Like, they could probably make over $1 million by selling out this collection, but instead they're doing a free mint and they're sending money to charity. Now, another mint that I'm going to be keeping an eye on is Bitcoin Machines with their Bitcoin Wizards collection, which is going to be a supply of 777 NFTs. Their whitelist price is 0.00777 Bitcoin. Their Genesis collection currently sits at 0.15 Bitcoin, and it does have some decent volume. I guess the only downside that I see here is that they've minted a ton of collections, as they do have some games. So there's a bunch of features that these NFTs have in their games, but with so many NFTs, some of them that were minted, they are currently sitting under the mint price. So some people are in the red on these for the mutant virus, for example. However, if we look at the team, if we look at the project itself, I do have a ton of respect for what they're doing, because they didn't only do some dope merch and music. They didn't only build a mini game. They're currently developing a full game, which is an MMORPG called Satoria. So it seems like they're putting a ton of work into this. It seems like they really do care about the collection and about the brand. So although I don't have whitelist for this collection, this is definitely one that I'm going to be keeping a close eye on. Now, other than that, I had a ton of gaming projects that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't want to shove it into this video. So I will have another video coming out either tomorrow or Thursday talking about my upcoming gaming list of projects that I'm trying to get whitelisted for. I also have a Twitter space coming up with Classy Games and of course my co-host Ash. And this is going to be happening on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern. If you want to tune in, check out Ash or my Twitter. And this space is going to be dedicated to altcoins in the gaming space as well as NFTs. So if you're into gaming, if you're into altcoins, be sure to check it out. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, would you kindly hit that subscribe button, smash that bell notification. Thank you for watching the Crypto Gorilla. Peace.